Hey everyone out there in crypto land, how are we doing today? Thanks for watching this video. Appreciate you being here. I also appreciate you being involved in cryptocurrencies because we're all making each other money here. That's really what it's all about. So, in order to do that, we need to get more people in this game, which we actually are. If you're not familiar, there's a company called Bittrex, and if you're watching this, you probably are familiar with Bittrex. It is signing up 100,000 new users per week. That is 100,000 new people trying to trade cryptos, learning about cryptos, and I think it's fantastic. So thanks for being part of this. Tell a friend. I know I'm telling all my friends. And let's get to this video. So Bitcoin here. Bitcoin has been on a tear. This is a weekly chart of Bitcoin. You've seen this before if you've been watching the videos. And this move is getting extremely vertical on this weekly chart. Now, granted, weekly charts can stay vertical for quite a while. This one stayed vertical for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 8 weeks. This one's vertical for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 8 weeks. This one's vertical for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks so far. I'm not saying it's going to take 8 weeks before this thing tops out, but it could. If we get two more runs like this, I'm sorry, 2 more weeks with this type of action, we're looking up here at about around in this area, $5,750 to $6,000 before we see some type of a pullback. Traditionally, this type of a pullback would be a very large one because we can see from this move and from this move that after these large tops, they take quite a long time to consolidate. And to be honest with you, personally, I think we're going to run for a few more weeks, and I think we're going to start consolidating again. That's my thought right now. Does that mean that's in stone? Does that mean that that's going to happen? Does that mean that in 2 weeks you should be selling everything? It doesn't mean that, okay? I'm just letting you know what I think about this price action and what's happening. People ask me, so I feel a little obligated to let you know that we could be getting toppish here in the very near future. That being said, the point about Bittrex adding 100,000 new users per week is a way to keep this going. As you add that many more market participants, you could keep that frenzy going, but there's also a danger of the large money institutions, the people that have large stakes in Bitcoin that want to cash out for one reason or another. They may want to sell into that frenzy, okay? They may want to make that money, and the only way you're going to make that much money is by selling into the crowd, selling into people that are excited and getting excited. So that being said, this is just about Bitcoin chart. As far as how it's going to affect the rest of the crypto world, if we look at Ethereum on the weekly chart, we actually don't have that same type of pattern. We're actually just starting to break out from a consolidation area. So does this mean Ethereum and Bitcoin are going to diverge and start behaving differently? That's a possibility. It's hard to say, though, because they do kind of move in tandem. They are the 2 largest players in the market by far. I think Bitcoin has now over an 80 billion market cap, and Ethereum is getting close to where it's going to be hitting 40. So can Ethereum and Bitcoin have an equal market cap? Can they live together at $80 billion? Can that be a thing? Can Ethereum double while Bitcoin bases? We'll have to wait and see. So if I go to these other coins on the weekly chart, like Litecoin here, Litecoin is really extended after this big breakout, which we were talking about here at $50 or so. Yeah, I actually don't chase, so I missed out on this move. I wasn't chasing. I'm invested in other things. But this is a fantastic move in Litecoin here. The volume on this weekly chart, this move, looking at it, I think it can actually accelerate from here. I think it can actually accelerate. That's just a thought at this point. If you notice, we have this declining trend line in the volume on this base, and then we have increasing volume, and this is the weekly chart again. You guys probably haven't been looking at the weekly charts, and with good reason. There's not a lot of history yet. I mean, Litecoin has a history going back to March in weekly charts, so it looks pretty thin. But we can clearly see this base here, right? We see this little trend line here. We can clearly see this base here. Here's a cup, here's a little handle breaking out right here, which we were talking about. And then boom, we're up from 50 to 80. So that's fantastic. If we go down a little deeper into the daily chart, on Litecoin especially. Let me go to the 4-hour chart. I think I drew these trend lines on the 4-hour chart. Oh, I know what it was. I was in logarithmic scale for a while, and it was screwing with my trend lines. So yeah, this this particular software doesn't do a great job of changing your trend lines when you switch from logarithmic to standard scale. Here we go. Okay, so here's our two parallel trend lines I drew a while ago. You can see it in a previous video about Litecoin. And we've broken through this trend line, which actually indicates an increase in momentum for this currency. I'm not sure exactly why. My thought process right now is after the fork, Litecoin and Bitcoin are more closely tethered, so you're able to actually move money between the two. There's some platforms right now that are allowing us to do this. So this could be additional flow coming into Litecoin, causing this pop-up, which this could just be an increase. This could increase to this type of telemetry where we move, where we go up, we pull back, we go up, we pull back, we go up, we pull back, and we don't re-enter this channel for quite some time, if ever. This channel may never get filled if this is a long-term trend change. So this is something a little different about Litecoin from other currencies. Is Litecoin has been in this channel for a while, and it's popping out of a channel. We don't see that too often. We also don't see cup with handles. We don't see ascending bases in cryptocurrencies. It's a very fledgling industry. Again, I come from trading the stock market for 15 plus years, doing technical analysis, and we see this on a routine basis, not every day, but routine enough where you notice these patterns. So that's why this video isn't a traditional, hey, buy here, sell here video. I want to give you guys a little more in-depth technical analysis on how these markets could be moving. These markets are maturing. You are in on the ground floor, just as I am, which I'm super excited about. And you're going to learn a lot of things. You're going to learn a lot of things, and a lot of things that I've learned over the years are starting to apply here. Okay, one of those things is divergence between Bitcoin and Ethereum. That can definitely happen. Bitcoin is a currency. Ethereum is a blockchain platform. They are two completely different animals. They should be treated as such, and we could get to the point where Bitcoin could form a deep base and Ethereum could keep running. It's hard to say at this point. Litecoin, you're seeing a change in behavior. You're seeing a slow gradual run up to a more increased run up. Look at the volume down here. This is the 4-hour chart. So look at the volume down here. You see large spikes here indicating a pause in movement, a large spike here indicating a run up, and then another one indicating a pause in movement. Now we're seeing slightly less enthused action, but more of it, indicating accumulation, which is causing this possible change in behavior. I say possible because anything can happen. So if this thing pops up and comes back to this trend line here, that would be another really good long-term entry point. And then if it were to come into the channel in increased volume, maybe that's a stopping point if you want to play this for a longer-term breakout. All right. So I'm going to stop this video here, guys. I'm going to do another video with some of the secondary coins. Omisego, may touch on IOTA. Lisk is doing pretty good. I'm going to touch on Pay, which isn't acting so hot these days. So look for that in the near future. I just don't want to get these too long. My viewership tends to go down when these videos go past 10 minutes. So Bitcoin, we are going to have a big run here, a nice big run, but I think we may pull back at some point, and it may be a fairly deep pullback. If you notice here, after we broke out, we ran up and then we came back and crashed quite significantly. That could be something that happens here. Okay, see this breakout? We break out in lighter volume, and so it's more poised to crash. We're doing a similar thing here. We're breaking out, but in lighter volume. So at some point, we are going to get a pullback or a crash. That's my opinion on that one. Ethereum, we're sitting at all-time highs. I would like this to consolidate more. Whether it does or not, I have no control over that. We have declining volume. We have a little base here. Maybe we get a bunch of little bases, but I don't know if the enthusiasm behind Ethereum can be held up. It may just break straight out. And then Litecoin, change of action, change of behavior. This is a massive move out of here. I should have taken a little more risk and probably jumped in on this, but actually my call was about 55. I think I called it at about 52. Anyway, 52 to 55, whatever. I should have taken a risk and gotten in on this breakout over here, but I was deployed elsewhere. I think Litecoin is a true leader and has tremendous value, and maybe a change of behavior, and it may increase in its amplitude of its run. All right, guys, subscribe. Please subscribe. Please chat in the videos. Please chat in the comments. We're having lots of fun here. I'm getting a lot of good comments. I'm trying to reply to everyone that I see come through. So if you do have a question, I am attentive. I will be responding. All right, guys, have a good one.